Once upon a time, in a small village called Asokwa, lived two best friends named Yuzi and Abina. They were so close that everyone in the village thought they were sisters. Yuzi was known for her kindness and beauty, while Abina was admired for her intelligence and determination. They grew up together, sharing dreams and aspirations. Yuzi wanted to become a nurse, hoping to help the sick and needy in their village, while Abina dreamed of becoming a teacher to educate the children of Asokwa. However, the village was underdeveloped and lacked the necessary resources for them to achieve their dreams. They decided that one day, they would leave Asokwa and go to the city to pursue their ambitions. For years, Yuzi and Abina saved every penny they could. They worked hard, taking on any job that came their way. Finally, the day came when they had saved enough money to leave Asokwa and head to Accra, the bustling capital city of Ghana. One sunny afternoon, as Yuzi and Abina walked to the market, they saw a sleek, shiny car unlike any they had ever seen. They stood in awe, admiring the car, when a handsome man approached them. He introduced himself as Kwame and asked to speak with Yuzi privately. Kwame told Yuzi that he had fallen in love with her at first sight and wanted to marry her. Yuzi was surprised and asked for some time to think about it. Kwame gave her directions to his house in the city and left. Yuzi immediately told Abina about Kwame's proposal. Abina was skeptical and advised Yuzi to be cautious. She reminded Yuzi of their dreams and warned her that getting married might hinder her from becoming a nurse. When Kwame visited Yuzi that evening, she told him about her dreams of becoming a nurse. Kwame assured her that he would support her ambitions and promised to sponsor her education. Yuzi was thrilled and agreed to marry Kwame. A grand wedding was held, and the entire village celebrated with them. After the wedding, Yuzi moved to the city with Kwame, leaving Abina behind. Kwame was a successful businessman, and his mansion in Accra was magnificent. Yuzi was ewasized by the luxurious lifestyle, and was grateful for Kwame's love and support. A year later, Yuzi gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, and Kwame was overjoyed. He kept his promise and enrolled Yuzi in nursing school. Yuzi found it challenging to balance her studies and take care of her daughter, so she suggested to Kwame that they hire a maid. Kwame agreed, but Yuzi had a different idea. She wanted Abina to come and stay with them, thinking it would be a great opportunity to help her friend. Abina arrived in Accra a few weeks later, and was ewasized by Yuzi's new life. However, as time passed, Abina's envy and jealousy grew. She began to desire the life that Yuzi had. One night, Abina couldn't sleep as she imagined herself as Kwame's wife, enjoying all the luxuries Yuzi had. Abina decided she would take Kwame away from Yuzi. She lied to Yuzi, saying she needed to go back to the village to retrieve some things. In reality, she went to see a powerful witch doctor. She told the witch doctor that she wanted Kwame to love her more than Yuzi. The witch doctor gave her a special potion and warned her to use it carefully. He told her to mix a few drops into Kwame's drink every day and return for more potion every month. Abina returned to Accra and started using the potion. Kwame soon became enchanted by Abina and started spending more time with her. Yuzi noticed the change in Kwame's behavior, but couldn't understand what was happening. Abina took every opportunity to make Kwame fall deeper in love with her. One day, Yuzi had to travel to another city for a week to attend a medical conference. She trusted Abina to take care of her daughter and the house in her absence. As soon as Yuzi left, Abina saw her chance. She used the potion more frequently, and Kwame became completely infatuated with her. When Yuzi returned, she was shocked to find Abina and Kwame acting like a couple. Her daughter was crying in a corner, neglected. Yuzi confronted Abina, but Kwame defended her, calling Yuzi names and accusing her of neglecting him. Yuzi was heartbroken and couldn't believe what was happening. Kwame ordered Yuzi to leave his house, claiming he no longer loved her. Devastated, Yuzi packed her things and took her daughter back to Asokwa. Her parents were shocked to see her return in such a state. They tried to contact Kwame, but he refused to listen, convinced that Yuzi was unfaithful. Abina took over Yuzi's place in Kwame's life. She abandoned her dream of becoming a teacher and indulged in the luxurious lifestyle. However, she was extravagant and spent Kwame's money recklessly. Despite living a life of luxury, Abina was never satisfied. Meanwhile, Yuzi focused on her studies and worked hard to become a nurse. She graduated with top honors and was offered a job at a prestigious hospital in Accra. She moved back to the city with her daughter and settled into her new life, determined to forget the past. For 5 years, Abina kept Kwame under her spell, using the potion every month. She even got pregnant, further securing her place in Kwame's life. However, when she was 7 months pregnant, disaster struck. Abina accidentally spilled the potion, and when she went back to the witch doctor's hut, she found it abandoned. The witch doctor was dead, and there was no more potion. Abina was terrified. She visited every spiritual healer she could find, but none could help her. She returned home, scared and anxious. When Kwame came back from work that evening, he suddenly realized what had happened. Without the potion, he saw everything clearly. Kwame demanded to know where Yuzi and their daughter were. When Abina tried to kiss him, he pushed her away in disgust. He searched the house and found pictures of him and Abina, but none of Yuzi and their daughter. Kwame realized he had been under a spell and was furious. He called Yuzi's parents, begging for their forgiveness and asking to see his wife and daughter. Yuzi's parents were initially angry but eventually took pity on him. They explained everything to Yuzi, who agreed to meet Kwame. Yuzi was reluctant to forgive Kwame easily. She remembered the pain and betrayal she felt when she was thrown out of her home. Yuzi decided to meet Kwame, but only to ensure he understood the gravity of his actions. When Yuzi and Kwame met, she was firm and distant. Kwame apologized profusely, but Yuzi was not easily swayed. She demanded to know why he had allowed Abina to manipulate him so easily. Kwame explained that he had been under a spell, but Yuzi was still hurt and angry. Yuzi's parents intervened, reminding her of Kwame's genuine remorse and the fact that he had been bewitched. They urged her to consider their daughter and give Kwame a second chance. Yuzi was torn between her love for Kwame and the betrayal she felt. To complicate matters, Abina refused to leave Kwame's house. She claimed she was carrying his child and had a right to stay. Yuzi was furious and demanded that Abina leave. Abina, now without the potion's influence, was desperate and tried to manipulate the situation, but Kwame stood by Yuzi. Yuzi decided to take some time to think about the situation. She moved into a small apartment with her daughter, focusing on her career and trying to make sense of her feelings. Kwame, determined to win back Yuzi's trust, began to court her again, showing her that he had changed. Yuzi's life was not easy. She faced many challenges balancing her job and raising her daughter alone. She struggled with trust issues and was wary of Kwame's intentions. Meanwhile, Abina's life spiraled out of control. She continued to live with Kwame, but their relationship was strained and filled with conflict. Yuzi eventually decided to allow Kwame to see their daughter, believing it was important for her to know her father. She watched closely, ensuring that Kwame was sincere in his efforts. Over time, Yuzi began to see the genuine remorse in Kwame's actions and slowly started to let her guard down. Kwame continued to work hard to prove his love and commitment to Yuzi. He distanced himself from Abina and focused on rebuilding his relationship with Yuzi and their daughter. Abina, seeing that she had lost Kwame's affection, became increasingly desperate. One night, Abina tried to confront Yuzi, accusing her of ruining her life. Yuzi stood her ground, reminding Abina that her actions had led to her downfall. Abina, realizing she had no power left Kwame's house in disgrace. She struggled to rebuild her life, but without the support and resources she once had, it was a difficult journey. Yuzi and Kwame's relationship slowly mended, but it was a long and arduous process. They went through counseling, worked on rebuilding trust, and focused on their family. Yuzi continued to excel in her career, balancing her professional and personal life with grace. As they moved forward, Yuzi and Kwame knew that their journey was far from over. They faced new challenges and adventures, but they were determined to face them together, stronger and more united than ever. The story of Yuzi, Kwame, and Abina was not yet complete, and their future held many more twists and turns. As Yuzi and Kwame worked on rebuilding their relationship, they encountered new obstacles that tested their resolve. Abina, now living in a small town far from Accra, struggled to make ends meet. She tried to rebuild her life, but found it difficult without the support and resources she once had. The weight of her past actions haunted her, and she often thought about the choices she had made. Yuzi, on the other hand, was flourishing in her career as a nurse. She was known for her compassion and dedication, and her reputation grew. She juggled her responsibilities at the hospital with her duties as a mother, ensuring her daughter received the love and attention she deserved. Kwame continued to prove his commitment to Yuzi. He supported her in every way he could, both emotionally and financially. They attended counseling sessions regularly, which helped them communicate better and resolve lingering issues. Yuzi began to see that Kwame was truly remorseful and dedicated to making amends. One day, a major crisis hit Accra. A severe flood displaced many families, and the hospital where Yuzi worked was overwhelmed with patients. Yuzi worked tirelessly, often staying late to ensure everyone received the care they needed. Kwame, inspired by Yuzi's dedication, organized a relief effort through his business to provide food, clothing, and shelter to those affected. The crisis brought Yuzi and Kwame closer. They saw each other's strengths and realized how well they complemented each other. Yuzi's compassion and Kwame's resourcefulness made them a powerful team. They worked together to help the community, and their bond grew stronger. As time passed, Yuzi and Kwame decided to renew their wedding vows. They wanted to start afresh, acknowledging the challenges they had overcome and celebrating their renewed love. The ceremony was small and intimate, attended by close family and friends. Yuzi's parents were there, beaming with pride, and their daughter played the role of the flower girl. During the ceremony, Yuzi and Kwame exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to support and cherish each other always. There wasn't a dry eye in the room as they spoke about their journey, the hardships they had faced, and the love that had ultimately brought them back together. After the ceremony, they held a small reception at their home. The atmosphere was filled with joy and laughter as everyone celebrated their renewed union. Yuzi and Kwame danced together, holding each other close, grateful for the second chance they had been given. In the meantime, Abina, who had been informed about Yuzi and Kwame's renewed vows, felt a pang of regret. She knew she had brought her misfortunes upon herself. Reflecting on her life, Abina realized she needed to make amends. She reached out to Yuzi, apologizing sincerely for all the pain she had caused. Yuzi, who had always believed in forgiveness, accepted her apology, although she made it clear that rebuilding trust would take time. With Yuzi's forgiveness, Abina felt a weight lift off her shoulders. She decided to dedicate her life to helping others, using her experiences as lessons. She moved to a small village where she became a teacher, fulfilling her original dream. Teaching children brought her a sense of peace and fulfillment that she had longed for. Yuzi and Kwame continued to build their life together, stronger than before. They supported each other in their careers and made time for their family. Their daughter grew up in a loving home, learning the importance of compassion, forgiveness, and perseverance from her parents.